Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Welcome to VeteransAir, the Veterans Hour. I am your host, Douglas B., and you're here for news, talk, and uncensored commentary here on your Lone Star Community Radio. You can listen to VeteransAir live the first Tuesday of every month at 1 p.m. On your Conroe FM dial of 106.1 and 104.5. You can find us on Facebook, on YouTube, and wherever you get your fine podcasts. Today is a special broadcast because we're going to talk about Medicare today. We're going to talk about insurance today. And there's a couple of things that I need you to know and to think about. Because you're thinking to yourself right now, Doug, I'm a veteran. I have TRICARE. I have the VA. What do I need Medicare for? Let me explain some situations. As Ricky said, Lucy, better explain. Here's what happens with Social Security. And there's two types of Social Security. There's Social Security insurance that you collect when you retire, 65, 72, 79, whatever the case may be. And there's also Social Security disability insurance. If you're disabled, you're collecting that. Both of those have Medicare attached to it. As a matter of fact, that's the only way that you can get Medicare. I'm not talking about Medicaid, I'm talking about Medicare. Now, when you start collecting Social Security, whether it be Social Security insurance or Social Security disability, one of the things that they're going to talk to you about is Medicare Part A. Medicare Part A, you have to get. I'm just going to say that right now. You have to get it. Some of you out there are saying, Doug, you're wrong. Doug is not wrong. Doug thought he was wrong once, but he was mistaken. For all practical purposes, the average Joe is going to get Medicare Part A. And Medicare Part A covers a couple of things. It covers hospital stays. It covers all the services while you're an inpatient at the hospital. But it doesn't cover a whole bunch of stuff, and there's a deductible along with it. Then you have what's known as Medicare Part B that you also pay for. And that can range from $174 to multiple hundreds of dollars, depending on when you choose to get Medicare Part B. Then there's Medicare Part C, which we're going to be talking about today. And why would you even consider Medicare Part C if you have TRICARE? Normally you would not. TRICARE is a good insurance. Covers a lot of things. But if you are relying on the VA medical solely, and you have Medicare Part A, you may consider Medicare Part C, which will require you to get Medicare A and B, to get Medicare Part C, which is known as Medicare Advantage. I have a Medicare Advantage. And I have somebody in the studio from United Healthcare today, Andrea, who's going to talk to us all about Medicare Part C, or known as Medicare Advantage. Why does somebody like me need a Medicare Advantage? I'm going to tell you why. If you're 100% or 50% or more disabled from the VA is going to handle everything. If you're not 50% or more, or 50% or more. If you're not 50% or more, then there's the VA is not going to cover some things. Now, even if you're 50% or more disabled and the VA is giving you your primary care, there are some things that the VA just doesn't have. I was recently corrected saying that's not true. The VA has everything. I'm not going to argue that point. I'm going to tell you in my personal experience. In my personal experience, the VA would not give me the Dexcom 6 or the Freestyle Libre 2 to monitor my blood glucose. They'll give me the test strips all day long, but they wouldn't give me those two apparatuses. They also wouldn't give me a Numaluma device, which is a medical device that has a TENS unit and cold lasering combined in one. The VA has it, but they decided that I wasn't going to get it. There's also some medicines that the VA does not have in their pharmaceutical, their pharmacology thing, that my doctor wanted me to have. Ozempic is a perfect example. Ozempic wasn't authorized. A generic for Ozempic was, but I'm allergic to that, so I have to take Ozempic. Also, for me, I am thankful for what the VA does, and I thank Dr. Biscamp and Nurse Zuli for keeping me alive. But I also have a civilian doctor, Dr. Mary Beth Moore, who I've been with for decades. And those two work together. My primary care civilian doctor and my primary care VA doctor, they work together. So do my specialists, like my urologist. Works hand in hand with Dr. Mary Beth Moore and with the VA Dr. Biscamp. How am I paying for all that? I'm paying for that because I have a Medicare Advantage plan. Because I stopped and looked at it and said, you know what? I'm not getting any better. I'm getting worse. And at some point in time, I'm going to need specialists to take care of me, to look after my health and well-being. Love the VA, don't get me wrong. Love Nurse Zuli, Dr. Biscamp. I think they're the best at what they do. But that's not the all end all of medical care that I would need. You, my good listener, you need to make the decision, make the determination what it is you need for your health care. For me, a Medicare Advantage plan is absolutely wonderful. It takes care of me. And I was very lucky because a couple of years ago, I found Andrea. Could you introduce yourself to our listeners?
Sure. My name is Andrea Corpening. I am an agent with United Healthcare. And Doug and we met about 2.5 years ago and went through his health care of what he needed, and we found a plan that was great for him.
I want you to understand the value of having a healthcare agent.
Yes.
Is that what we call it?
Mm-hmm.
Healthcare, having a personal healthcare agent as opposed to dialing a 1-800 call center number. Because if I have a question or I need something, I call Andrea, and she makes it happen. When I wanted the Dexcom or the Freestyle Libre glucose monitoring, VA said, no, you're not authorized to have it. I called her, and she said, give me a couple of days. And she did. She found it, and she got it authorized through my medical plan, and bingo, I now get this every single month. And it's been a boon for me. The VA will still supply the blood glucose test strips, which I also use. My regular monitor here monitors me, and its purpose, just like the Dexcom 6, its purpose is to give you an average of what your glucose is. If I'm super high or I'm super low and the alarm goes off, the first thing I do is grab a test strip and test my blood directly, because that's always the truest, if you will, factor for a diabetic. I also have a couple of medications prescribed from my urologist and my civilian doctor, Mary Beth Moore, that are just not in the VA's pharmacology, whatever their thing is that says they have the medicines. And unfortunately, I'm allergic to the generic and I have to take the name brand one. They're expensive. They're expensive. I have a program here, as part of my program here, that covers certain drugs. Now, I'm not going to tell you that the plan that Andrea found for me is right for you. Nobody can tell you that except you and Andrea.
Absolutely.
I strongly encourage you to jot down her number and give her a call. You have, and I want to apologize to you, good listener, because Medicare enrollment, open enrollment, is from October 5th through December 7th?
It's from October the 15th.
October 15th.
Through December the
to
7th.
December. I should have had her on earlier in October, but I totally forgot. I totally forgot. So we're doing it now, but you still have a whole month, almost a whole month to get hold of her and figure out what you need to do. Because it can be costing you, could be leaving money on the table. It could be costing you money, hundreds of dollars every year, if you don't become smart about this. So, hi, Andrea. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Doug.
Tell our listeners, what is Medicare Part C? What is a Medicare Advantage?
Okay, great. What a Medicare Advantage is it is a plan that includes not only your Part A and B, which the government pays 80% of your care, and then you need something to help to pay the other 20%. So with the Medicare Advantage plan, United Healthcare takes care of the majority of that 20%, and then you're only responsible for co-pays. But it also includes your prescription drug plans in that. And then we also give you some additional benefits for being a part of the United Healthcare plan.
Well, I was shocked to find out that United Healthcare had plans specifically for veterans that are getting care from the VA. So you, as a health insurance agent, you can guide the veteran toward that, and also guide his dependents that are collecting regular Medicare. So it's not a one-size-fits-all. Is that true?
That's absolutely true. With the Medicare Advantage plan, we have a number of different plans depending on your health care. I could determine whether there's a special need plan for you, whether it's a veteran plan that you need, whether there is a plan because of your income. So we have so many different plans that we can look at to determine. You mentioned something about annual enrollment period. This is that time of year, the annual enrollment period. But we also have where we have open enrollment period. This is your initial enrollment period, your first time becoming Medicare. So this is a good opportunity also for you to look at your plans. And there are some individuals who have special needs, so we have special enrollment periods too. So we have something for the majority of people at least twice a year, because we also have the open enrollment period that starts in January through March the 31st. So we are always looking for ways to assist our clients.
And I noticed from my plan for this year, plans and benefits change from year to year.
Absolutely.
Why?
We always look at what our customer needs. The one thing that I can say about United Healthcare, they listen to us, the agent, because we listen to our customers of the things that they could use or need to assist them to make a better plan for them. So that's one of the reasons that United Healthcare is doing so well. We have over 1 million doctors in our network around the United States. So we're always looking to find ways to help our clients to have a better lifestyle. And the one thing I like that we do focus on is the health part, not so much as, and what I mean by that is more of what can we do to have you only see your specialist when you need to see them or your annual checkups. So we look at the fact of keeping you healthy and not looking at this as an insurance policy, but a health insurance to help you to stay healthy. And hopefully, with what we can provide for you, you have less time in the doctor's office or the hospital or emergency rooms.
Well, that's why I like you being my specific insurance agent, and not that I've purchased a policy from the TV and call a 1-800 number. We've developed a relationship, and I'm hoping that you develop a relationship with all your clients.
And I do, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I do. When I enroll a person into a healthcare plan, we are connected together for life. Period. I don't plan on going anywhere. I love what I'm doing. And my clients can call me if they not only if they're looking for a doctor, but they may have received some paperwork from United Healthcare or another entity with their health. Second eye looking at that to help them. They may be looking for another doctor or a specialist. So I'm always connected with them.
Okay, I gotta tell this story about Dr. Mary Beth. So last year, for whatever reason, my civilian primary care, Dr. Mary Beth Moore, who accepts United Healthcare, for some reason dropped off the roll. Some paperwork snafu someplace. And one of the reasons that I have been using Dr. Moore for decades is because she doesn't care. Well, she's treated me, my wife, my daughter. She doesn't care whether you have insurance or not. Just you say, come on in. But when I was talking to her billing people, they're going, well, for some reason we just can't get on it. And I keep getting cards from United Healthcare with the wrong doctor's name on it. Finally, the second time around, I picked up the phone. I called Andrea and I went, can you help me with this? And after explaining the situation, she said, that just ain't right. I'll call you back. Lo and behold, the next set of cards I got from United Healthcare had Dr. Mary Beth Moore on there as my primary care physician. I didn't need to do anything. All I needed to do was to pick up the phone. Could I have gone to United Healthcare's website and looked at it for myself? Yeah, I could have. But as you all know, I'm basically a lazy guy. I just called Andrea. And Medicare, having gone through Medicare and Medicare Advantage plans with my mother, God rest her soul, it could be daunting. It can really, really be daunting, the paperwork that's involved with it and trying to understand what is covered and what isn't covered. Now, most of us, we're a special case because we have the VA. But the VA is not everywhere. And I'll give you a perfect example. I was out on the road. As everybody knows, I was gone most of September and all of October. And while I was out tooling about, I got sick. And I needed to see a doctor right then and there. And I was hundreds of miles from the local VA. Went and called a doctor. They took my plan. They said, come on in. They fixed me right up. I didn't do any paperwork. I just gave them my Medicare Advantage card from United. No paperwork did I do. I did get, at the end of the quarter, a statement from United Healthcare showing what the doctor charged, what they paid, and how much I still have to pay, which was zero. Just not having to deal with that is wonderful. The peace of mind that I don't have to worry about it if I get sick. Can I afford to go to the doctor? Do I have enough money to pay the 20% that Medicare is not going to cover? It's a peace of mind
Absolutely.
for only a couple of dollars a month.
Absolutely.
I was talking to my brother, and my brother Johnny, he posed the question, because you see it on TV all the time, that if you're living a certain zip code, you get money back by having a Medicare Advantage. None of those zip codes are in our area, are they?
You know, we do have some plans that will allow you to get your money back. Like you stated, we change our plans, we upgrade our plans not throughout the year, but the following year. And so there are different ones, but those are the ones that if you have any question about it, give me a call at 281-773-6239. I would love to go over what your benefits are and how we can help you. And if any of those where you may be able to get some of your money back from your Part B premium, we may be able to help you with that.
Now, if you're new to Medicare, what you're going to get every single year is this big, thick book, Medicare and You. This covers your Medicare Part A, Part B, and Part D. What the government is providing for the money that you're giving it to be on Medicare. What you're also going to get from your Medicare Advantage is you're going to get a annual notice of changes. And this is important to you. When you receive this, you want to go through it and you want to read all the changes that are for your specific plan. And if that plan no longer meets your requirements, call Andrea.
Call me. Absolutely.
And even if it does, just call her and say, hey. Because she may be thinking about something and says, she does this to me all the time. I was just about to call you. Medicare Advantage programs, and there's a wealth of them out there. If you're like me and have been on Social Security Disability for a while, you've probably run the gambit. You've been on United Healthcare, you've been on Humana, you've been on Aetna, and you change frequently. Andrea, I'm going to change. Sometime before you and I die, I'll change. I'll go someplace else, just because I like to. When you're comparing plans, when you're comparing your Medicare Advantage, it's important that you compare apples to apples.
Absolutely.
Because not every plan from every healthcare provider is the same, is it?
Absolutely. You're correct on that.
So you have United Healthcare has a Medicare Advantage, and so does Humana. But they may or may not be the same plans. They're called the same, but the benefits are different, correct?
Yeah, the difference comes in so many different ways. A lot of time people look at the fact of the cost. Sometimes people may have to leave their primary care or specialist to be in a specific plan. So you want to weigh what is important to you when you're making those type of decisions, whether it's getting extra benefits or I can see this doctor that have been assisting me all these years. My health that is more important to me right now. Sometimes you're even looking to change doctors, and that's okay too for whatever reason. So you want to look at really what's best for you, and you want to weigh them and determine based on what you have, what each individual plan can deliver to you.
Now, as a insurance agent, it's your job to figure out, to find out what your client's needs are.
Absolutely.
And then say, based on your needs, here's this plan, this plan, this plan that's going to cover it. And here's the difference between these plans. I mean, that's what you did with me.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what I would do. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because what I found through talking to a lot of individuals, they have some different plans or some different credits that they don't even realize that they have. Things that they could use to help to get them in a different plan, to lower their costs, even to bring more money into their income. So that's the things that I would do with that individual. It's not all about selling you or enrolling you per se in a plan, but it's to see what is best for you. So again, if you have any questions, give me a call at 281-773-6239, and that's what I'm here to do. It's not about truly just getting a commission. It's about helping you to have a healthier life.
Now, this morning we've been talking about veterans specifically like me that are drawing disability. But let's assume for a moment that you're a veteran and you're collecting Social Security insurance, but you're still working and your employer also provides health care. You can still have Medicare and a Medicare Advantage plan and a secondary insurance from your employer.
To a degree. You have to watch that these days. Some years ago, it was more easy to determine that, but now a lot of companies are investing in a per se Medicare Advantage plan. So if you were to, so this is very important, if you were thinking about leaving your employer's insurance to go to a Medicare Advantage plan, you want to make sure that what you're leaving from your employers is not something, leaving, let's just say, money or benefits on the table. You really need to know the difference in reference to that. And I have been helping a lot of people this year to determine whether their employer benefits is better than a Medicare Advantage and whether they should stay with that. You really have to look and see what is best for you.
Because, correct me when I'm wrong here, if you're a person that falls into that category that has Medicare and is still working, and is with an employer that supplies a medical insurance, Medicare always is the primary insurance.
Medicare is the primary insurance. One of the things that some people do not realize that they do not have to get when they turn 65, you want the Part A, that's a given, as you have stated. But the Part B, you can actually wait until after you retire if you're going to still be on your employer's insurance. And that's extra money you can keep in your wallet until it's time for you to retire. You make a decision whether you want to stay with your company or go to a Medicare Advantage plan also.
And you can guide your clients of what's best for them.
Absolutely.
Once they tell you what their situation is.
I do that all the time, absolutely.
The importance of healthcare insurance, the importance of a Medicare Advantage plan, may not be important to the individual listener today. But as they age, it becomes more and more important, because I don't want to shock you out there, but some of you are getting old. And when you get old, your bodies break down. And then insurance becomes very, very important, because the cost of medical care in this country is huge, absolutely huge. One of the things that's been happening to me with my plan, and I don't know if this is for all United Healthcare plans, but United Healthcare has been sending out a nurse every year to give me a physical. And at first I thought, well, this is a physical to make sure that I was still alive and can qualify for this insurance, because we all heard stories from our parents and our grandparents that you have to have a physical to get insurance. But that's not what this is it?
It's not, and I'm so glad you mentioned that. One of the things I also need to let you guys know is that not only am I a client, I'm sorry, an agent, but I'm also a client with United Healthcare. And so the same thing happened to you, happened to me. I did have someone to do a house visit. This was great for me because it let my clients know how much United Healthcare cares about them and what they actually do to help you. Sometimes people cannot make it to their primary care. So this doesn't take the place of it. It's just another opponent that United Healthcare have put into their way of what helping us to stay healthy.
Now, you can't talk about specifics on plans because law says you can't.
Right.
However, I can do whatever the hell I want because Dick lets me. So on the particular plan that I'm on, United Healthcare gives me $40 or $45, I can't remember, each quarter that I can go spend on over-the-counter products at Walgreens. I don't have to do anything. It just shows up in my account and it's on my insurance card and I can walk into Walgreens and get some Tums. $40, $45, I mean, that's a lot of money to be able to spend in Walgreens for over-the-counter stuff. And I'm going to have to tell you right now how I spend my quarterly thing. I have, and I've done this on the show before, I have a hurricane box of all the things that I might need during a hurricane.
Sounds good.
And I also have a zombie apocalypse medical box. And that has all the things that I might need during a zombie apocalypse. Band-Aids, ace bandages, rubbing alcohol, all those things. And United Healthcare, thank you, you funded that box. I am very proud of my zombie apocalypse box. Where am I at time-wise, Dick?
30.
I'm 30 minutes? All right. I can wrap up the rest of this rather shortly. Do we have a graphic for Andrea?
Her phone number and everything?
Yeah. Could you throw that up on the screen? Get a pen, get a pencil, get a crayon for you Marines, and write down the information on your screen. You can contact Andrea at 281-773-6239. And her info is up on your screen. It behooves you, there's our word of the day.
Yeah.
Behooves. It behooves you to just reach out and touch base with her. Maybe she doesn't have anything for you, but how do you know until you call? I tell this to people all the time. Give somebody the chance to say yes. If you don't call and you find out later on down the road that you need it, could cost you some serious money. Don't be Martha. You've seen the commercials for the Medicare Advantage. Don't be a Martha. Don't be a Martha. Just call. One of and we've talked that there's specific plans for veterans. Mm-hmm. And you can help the veteran determine what plan he needs. And we only briefly mentioned that you can do that for someone who's not a veteran also.
Absolutely.
But the same rules apply. They just call you, explain what they need, and you can find the plan that meets them. Because United has a number of different plans.
Absolutely.
They don't have a one-size-fits-all, correct?
We do not. That's absolutely right.
And some of these plans can cost money. Some of them can cost no money.
Yeah, we have quite a number of them that does not cost you anything as far as a premium, a monthly premium. It depends on whether you have Medicare and Medicaid, whether you will not have to pay anything for your seeing a doctor, going to the hospital. But we have so many other plans that is such a no payment or very minimum. And then when you look at your this specifically with United Healthcare, when I look at I have an app, and when I look at the app and see the amount that United Healthcare pays and the amount that I pay, it's just phenomenal. The amount that I see how much hospital costs, and my care is really almost like a drop in the bucket my cost is almost like a drop in the bucket.
Hospital costs are unbelievable. I consider myself very lucky because if I'm going into the hospital, the VA is going to take care of it. I'm going to go to a VA hospital. But that's not always true. When I had to have the surgery on my neck, I didn't go to a VA hospital. I went to Christus Spawn down in the valley. And it just so happens I happened to be with United Healthcare at that time. A $1.4 million surgery is what that surgery was. And do you know how much I paid?
How much?
$1,800. I was in the hospital for a week.
Yeah.
And then I had physical therapy and the whole 9 yards. Drop in the bucket. What I dread is that something's going to happen to Petra. She's not on Social Security, so she doesn't have Medicare. We have Obamacare for her. I know right now someone's going, well, why didn't you get her onto TRICARE? I'm not retired from the military. One of my greatest fears is something will happen to her that she'll need to go into a hospital. And everything that we have, everything that we've worked for, our entire adult lives will be gone. Like that.
Yeah.
Just to pay medical bills. Medical bills in this country are out of control and we need to do something. I don't know what that is. If I did and I was able to implement it, I'd be famous instead of infamous. But it's just not there yet.
Right.
I want to thank you for coming in today and talking to our listeners about what a Medicare Advantage plan is and letting them know that they can call you
Absolutely.
and talk to a real live agent that builds a one-on-one clientele. And for me, that's important. I much rather reach out and have a face that I know than call a 1-800 number and speak to somebody that I don't know who they are anyway.
Absolutely.
And I think that I speak for a lot of veterans when I say that's true. We spent our entire lives building relationships with the man to the left or to the right. Is there anything that you want to put out that we haven't put out?
You have done such a great job. Really, just give me a call. Let me talk to you in reference to what we have to offer. Help to share some light on maybe with your, not only your health plan, but the fact of whether you have some other benefits that you were not even aware of that you can tap into to make it easier for you with your health care. I am here to assist you, and I will look forward to doing that. And if I could use that number again, I know Dick has it up there. It's 281-773-6239. And Doug, I want to always thank you for allowing me to come. I'm so glad that it was a blessing to meet you, and that you're still in my life. And you said you're not going to stay with me, but I'm going to try to make sure that we can always, as United Healthcare does, continue to improve our health care for our clients. So thank you.
State Farm is who I use for my vehicle and for my house. And I told Tommy when I started with State Farm that I'm going to be leaving. 2 years is about the max. And he calls me every year. He goes, "Are you leaving yet?" I'm like, "No, everything's still fine."
Absolutely, and that's what we do with United. Again, I love the fact that what we do with our with what United Healthcare does with me as an agent and the others, they get advice from us. They listen to us because we listen to our clients, and they actually do what they can to better improve the health care for our clients.
Now, I see I have a lot of paperwork in front of you.
Yeah.
Is that for me to put out to my listeners?
No, not really.
Okay.
It was just some things I just wanted to make sure I didn't forget, like the open enrollment period, the annual enrollment period. And please don't forget there is a special enrollment period that can kind of give you an idea of what a special enrollment period is. You may have moved out of one area to the other one. you may have changed with your health. Your health may have declined some. There are special enrollment periods for those individuals. Things of that. Oh, your income. Something could have happened where maybe now you have a different income level. Those are what we consider special enrollment period. That can happen throughout the year. So definitely give me a call. Let's see what we can do.
But by default, December 7th is the target date they're shooting for.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So hopefully your phone will be ringing a lot.
I'm sure.
I guess that's it. Thank you for tuning in to this special edition of Veterans Air. I hope that you found it informative and that you've received a lot of things to think about. Remember, in December, we'll have our regular live show, the first Tuesday in December. So don't forget to set your dials and come listen to us. And as always, with everything that we do, I'm going to leave you with this song by the Warrior Song Project. And as you listen to it, let's remember our brothers and sisters who are wearing the uniform today, standing in harm's way for our freedoms and liberties. If you are wearing the uniform today, I want to tell you thank you. I want to tell you I'm proud of you. And until next month, stay safe and stay vigilant.
With a need to bleed you when the light goes green. Best believe I'm in the zone to be. From a yin to my yang to Z. Put a grin on my chin when you come to me. Cause I'll win, I'm a one of a kind. And I'll bring death to the place you're about to be. Another river of blood running under my feet. Forged in a fire lit long ago. Stand next to me, you'll never stand alone. I'm last to leave, but the first to go. Lord, make me dead before you make me whole. I feed on the fear of the devil inside of the enemy faces in my sight. Aim with a hand, shoot with a mind, kill with
Medicare can be confusing, but it doesn't have to be. My name is Andrea Corpening, and I am an agent authorized to offer AARP Medicare plans from United Healthcare Insurance Company. I would be happy to help you better understand Medicare, your coverage options, and discover what may make AARP Medicare plans from United Healthcare a great choice for you. Call me, Andrea Corpening, today at 281-773-6239 so you can decide on a plan with confidence. That's 281-773-6239.